really, really disappointed locker room right now, and obviously, just frustrated that we weren't able to close out the game. I thought it was a high-level basketball game in a lot of ways, and I think South Carolina has a very good team. Their players, their coaching staff. I think they're a really good basketball team, and I think they're going to have a great season. And just disappointed that we couldn't find a way to. I thought we put ourselves in position to have a chance, and we were not able to do the things down the stretch to complete the game.
What was your assessment of that final minute? Just some of the sequences there. What did you like, not like?
Obviously, I think it goes back to, I think the biggest shot of the game was Michi's three when they were down 3. I think under 4 minutes we had a 3-point lead at one point, and I think that was a big shot. That was a huge shot when he hit that 3. It was his only 3 of the game. He's been playing as good as any guard in the country, and I thought that gave them a sense of confidence, because then B.J. Mack hits a huge 3. I'm going to keep getting the ball to Ezra, R.J., Brandon, and Bobby in those situations. And we were having success playing through the high pick and roll with Ezra and Bobby. We were having success with it, so we went back to it. We went to some of our post-isolation stuff for both Ezra and RJ. We had some success. I mean, in the end of the day, a couple shots don't go in, a couple turnovers happen. Ezra's gathering and the ball goes out of bounds. This is the game of basketball. It's going to come down to a possession or two, and we knew that all week. We talked about it before the game. We talked about it at halftime. This is going to come down to a possession game. And, give South Carolina credit. They made the plays down the stretch. They made the shots, and we didn't.
You mentioned it coming down to that possession game. You guys, right after halftime, got it to that point. I think it was the first 3-4 minutes you're tied, and it was like that the whole game. What was the message just to get to that point and be able to play that?
Yeah, going through, again, Ezra gets, it feels like forever ago, but Ezra picks up 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes of the game, or 6 minutes. So we're playing without him in the first half, and we're down 7 at halftime. And we came in and we talked about where they were scoring and what we had to fix, and we talked about where we were struggling on offense and what we had to fix. And I thought we came out, we got to stop the first possession, and the game quickly became a possession game. And I think, again, we went up 3, so there was a 10-point swing in there somewhere between being down 7 at the half to up 3. I believe 3 was probably our biggest lead in the second half. Yeah, it was. Just continue to play defensively, continue to do what we were doing. That's a very, very good offensive team. And, everything had worked pretty well containing B.J. Mack from behind the 3-point line. He got his driving the ball at the free throw line in the paint. He's a heck of a player. And he hits a huge 3. He hits an absolute monster 3, from the top of the key.
You mentioned whoever you talked to, I guess it was yesterday, about all 5 guys having a rebound defensively, especially kind of singled out your guards. How do you feel like they responded to that challenge this week?
South Carolina had 7 offensive rebounds. I think that's, they have Josh Gray is averaging, he had 4 versus us last year. They have kids on their team, really good players that are good offensive rebounds. I thought we fought. I haven't looked at the rebounding numbers as much, but, Brandon gets 8 rebounds, and Bobby comes up with 5, and RJ comes up with 7. So the guards obviously did a better job. I think Ezra is going to say, but Ezra plays 24 minutes because of foul trouble. We would love to have had Ezra for 33 or 34 minutes. Obviously, we were not a team that played a lot of guys today. Our bench wasn't very deep, just what the game called for. So not having Ezra out there for an extra 10 minutes makes a huge impact, I think, on his ability to go from 4 rebounds maybe to 7, 8, 9, maybe get a couple more offensive rebounds. But that's the game. Foul trouble is going to dictate what we got to do. And I thought he did a great job of getting fouled, as he always does. He got fouled 6 times. And we tried to go at B.J. Mack to see if we could, get him in foul trouble, because he's a key to their team. But I thought our guys rebounded, but you need to be better to win this kind of game.
How do you keep Ezra from getting those? Because they're kind of cheap ticky-tack guys. Like early in the game, how do you keep maybe reaching in there?
Yeah, I promise you we work on it all the time, and he knows, he knows it's sometimes just his athletic nature, and he's got quick hands and quick feet, and he'll just see the ball and he puts his hands down, and if you put your hand down there and you're in a place where the referee sees something and sees a little contact, you're going to put it on. You're going to put it in, in their hands. And where I thought he had an opportunity in the second half to pick up his third foul. It was on the baseline, and he kept his hands back. He did a great job, really, really good job. And we work on it. Ezra's a sophomore, and I think as Ezra continues to grow and get experience in this game, he's going to realize that he's equally as good of a defender with his chest as he is with his hands. He's got dynamic feet, but he's got to use his chest as opposed to his hands, because sometimes you can actually bail an offensive player out by reaching down. I don't know. I didn't get a look at the last one, but I think we probably did the same thing when we put B.J. Mack on the free throw line late with Brandon Johnson, and we just have to be better with that, and we'll work on it.
You guys had only 6 points off the bench tonight. Do you think it is a message going forward to get more production off the bench or starters? Because you had 4 starters with 10 points in double figures.
I think you want to get the bench production. You really do. Not having Ben Biella today was another guy that can give you 15 minutes. I mean, he played a good 15 or 17 minutes for Maryland Eastern Shore. So not having Ben shortens the rotation again. And it just was one of those games. Sometimes matchups are going to dictate what the bench can look like. And Caleb has been really, really good for us. He didn't get as many minutes today. It's probably more defensively than it was offensively. He came in, he made a 3. Yeah, we need our bench. We absolutely do. We're not going into anything saying we want to ride the starters for 37, 38 minutes. We want the bench, and the bench will continue to grow. It's just it wasn't there today.
Anything else? That's good. Thank you.
Yes.